This is the Dean in Travel, Dean Jacobs, coming to you from the heart of Africa and Uganda. Uganda. It's hard to imagine this place without images of Idi Amin coming to mind or past tribulations of war and destruction. But that was over 25 years ago. And the fertile, green, and lush country of Uganda has grown past this into a beautiful place to explore in the heart of Africa. Situated along the equator, the weather in the country, which is about the size of Oregon in the U.S. or Great Britain, is very consistent throughout the year, making it a great place to wander around. So after a grueling adventure across northern Kenya on the back of a truck, I landed in Nairobi and straight away booked a bus for the capital city of Uganda in Kampala. One of the first things you learn about Uganda is that the people are very warm and friendly. And one of the best ways to meet them is by sitting on the back of a boda, one of the main ways to navigate a congested large city. Now the word boda comes from an interesting part of the past. It comes from a time when Uganda was isolated from most of the world, and they had to sneak goods in over the border, from one border to the next, and they used bicycles. And thus the term boda, from border to border, was born. One of my goals in coming to Uganda was to whitewater raft the Nile as it leaves Lake Victoria and starts its majestic journey towards Egypt. So booking a full-day rafting experience with the Adrift Company, I set off for a genuine adventure of fun and exploration. We started the day listening to instructions and getting teamed up on a raft. "What kind of ride do you want?" asked Jeffrey, our rafting guide. "Mild or wild?" "Wild," my rafting mates state. Cool, I think to myself. So we set off onto the Nile, the longest river in the world, to get up and close with a personal experience. At the start, Jeffrey asked, "How many of you have ever rafted before?" A few of us kind of shyly raise our hands. He then says, "Good, this is my first time," and he laughs. Over the next 7 hours, we crossed over 10 miles of river and 12 major rapids, 4 that reached Class 5 ratings, the highest rating for rafting. This is the real deal. Now, take a look at Jeffrey's body language here. What does that tell you? Correct, you guessed right if you said something is about to happen. Kabam! We crashed into this Class 5 rapid, and the rapid wins. And we get scattered across the river. Jeffrey said there were no crocodiles here, and so I was hoping he was right. I can attest that this part of the Nile is still wild. A couple of days later, I took a trip out to Namba Island on Lake Victoria. This island serves as a chimpanzee reserve. This gave me a great chance to see these little guys up close that we share 98% of our genes with. Most of these chimps have been rescued from the Congo, where they actually eat monkeys, so these guys are having a better life. As a matter of fact, this last guy looks like all he needs is a remote control for the TV. And at the invitation of a couple biological researchers, I spent 5 days at Kibale National Park. Sarah Page here and Dr. Innocent Rago were starting a new research program called Kibale Eco Health Project. They were in the process of gathering information to look at the transmission of diseases between humans, domestic animals, and wildlife. Hanging out at the research facility at the Makerere University Biological Research Station in the park gave me the privilege to observe students working on their research, like this bird banding project, as well as the chance to spend time walking through the lush green forest, immersing myself in nature. Spending time in the wild definitely was good for my spirit, highlighted by a nap I took one day in the forest surrounded by the sounds of nature. And at the invitation of the UC Davis research student Gosha Arlett, I was able to see a school she and her husband support through a local foundation they started over the last 7 years as they did their field research. The name of their foundation is Books Open the World. Check out their website, booksopentheworld.org. They have some interesting and good things going on. Uganda is loaded with beautiful green tea fields, and with the help of my friend Innocent, we took a drive one morning through the surrounding countryside to see the amazing greens. I wrapped up my visit to Uganda with a safari. I just couldn't come to Africa without going on some kind of safari. I love nature too much not to pursue an intimate moment with the majestic wildlife of Africa. For 3 days, I explored Murchison National Park. Here, the Nile brings life to the nature in a special way, and allows one to see animals up close, such as antelope and giraffe, lions and elephants, hippos, and crocodiles. All this is punctuated with a visit to the spectacular Murchison Falls, a powerful and majestic waterfall. Uganda is a special part of the world. If you like animals, nature, and adventure, it has it all that to offer with warm and friendly people. Winston Churchill was right. It is the Pearl of Africa. Tune in again. There's more adventures to come from Africa. This is Dean Jacobs, reminding you to check your compass, because you never know where you might go with the Dean of Travel.